welcome to ICCNN, or Intercontinental Conflict News Network. Thanks for joining us in this 2022 holiday season. Christmas sure is coming up fast, isn't it there, Harrison?
Yes, it is.
Anyways, I'm your host, Will Kloiber, alongside my co-anchor, my favorite co-anchor, personally, Harrison Allen. On today's show, we'll cover the Kashmir region conflict, a long-standing source of tension between the independent nations of India and Pakistan. Join us as we dive into its history, current situation, and even its future.
Thanks, Will. This conflict started after the partition of India in 1947, with both India and Pakistan taking claim to the Kashmir Valley, located right here. Since then, there has been no land granted to either country. However, there has been multiple wars and armed skirmishes. Now, let's cut to an interview with the expert I engaged with for some more insight on the conflict's background. Hello, ICCNN. Today, I'm with Professor Drew Nate.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Harrison.
Can you please expand on this topic of the India and Pakistan?
Yeah, no, of course. So basically, in the first half of the first millennium, Kashmir became a very important center of Hinduism and later on Buddhism. But basically, this whole conflict between India and Pakistan started around 1947, which you guys basically said. They chose to join India in return for help against an invasion from Pakistan. After the partition of India, as both the country of India and Pakistan claimed the entirety of Jammu and Kashmir, following this event, a war erupted and India actually approached the United Nations, and they were basically asking the UN to intervene. The UN recommended holding a plebiscite to help decide if it would join India or Pakistan. However, these two countries could not agree to a deal. They just couldn't do it. So in 1949, the two countries signed an agreement to make a ceasefire line, which was recommended by the UN, and the region became divided. A second war was made in 1965. Then in 1999, India fought a small but bitter conflict with Pakistani-backed forces.
Okay, so let me ask you this question, all right? Why was Kashmir so notoriously controversial?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So Kashmir is a Himalayan region that both India and Pakistan say it's fully theirs, right?
Yeah.
So both these countries just cannot come to an agreement, and all their wars have not resulted in an answer. So there's nothing like crazy about Kashmir that makes it like that both the countries like have to have, but just both the countries like they just don't want to say no. They both want it to be theirs. You know.
Interesting. So, who all is involved in the conflict? I know that you touched it briefly, but I heard that there are some outside sources, and I'd like to elaborate on that.
So as of right now, it's just India and Pakistan going at it with each other. But earlier, when this conflict started, China was also in the mix. So it's just been those India and Pakistan mainly, but China was there really early.
Okay, so in recent news, there's been something called Article 370.
That's right.
I'd like for you to touch upon that subject and explain how significant it can be.
Yeah, I'd love to. So basically, the article allowed the state a certain amount of autonomy. It allowed its own constitution, a separate flag, and freedom to make laws. Also, foreign affairs, defense, and communications remained the preserved in the central government.
Interesting. Interesting, yes. And that can change everything.
It absolutely can.
That can certainly, because it can become its own state.
Exactly, like that. That's why I just find so interesting that these two countries are fighting over, and it can become its own state.
That's interesting.
So interesting.
I feel like that concludes the short interview that we had for you guys today on ICCNN.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching this interview. We'll tune back to the main part.
What an incredible interview that was. I mean, that guy, he sure knew a heck of a lot about the Kashmir region, but I'll tell you what, those classes in particular were something special.
Yeah.
I was going to pick out of that.
I really enjoyed that interview. It opened up the perspective of what happened down there in Kashmir.
Right, really went in depth really well. Anyways, I would like to apologize about a timing mistake earlier. I had listed the 2022 holiday season. I guess I'm just excited about the future because it is in fact December 2019 at the time of filming. Thank you.
So recently, there has been several bombings in the state of Kashmir, with Pulwama having a bombing 12 days ago, and Balakot having a bombing 12 hours ago. Now, we are going to cut to a reporter on scene to show you a glimpse of what one of these territories has to offer.
Thank you, Harrison. Today I'm standing in the Indian territory of Kashmir, specifically in Pulmore, where 12 days ago a suicide bombing occurred at an Indian convoy holding Indian security forces. At least 40 Indian soldiers were killed. This bomber was part of a militant group in Pakistan. This then caused issues between Pakistan and India once again. Just 12 hours ago, India sent an airstrike over to the state in Pakistan. Now the rising tensions have become quite evident, and it's quite obvious to see that there will be further issues and further complications with these two countries. Now to go into some background information, Pakistan a while ago was once part of India. The reason that Pakistan left India was because of their Muslim faith. Pakistan wanted to secede from India due to the fact that Hindus were the majority and they wanted more power. During the secession, a Hindu idealist killed Gandhi. The reason of this is because he believed that Gandhi should have stopped Pakistan from leading. That was one of the first and many issues that would occur between Pakistan and India. Pakistan and India have been at kind of a cold war since the killing of Gandhi. They've been at closed arms and have then further had more complications. Now, the conflict in Kashmir is just one example of many. Now, I will be interviewing a citizen of Kashmir just to see how this is affecting the citizens and the families within Kashmir. Hello, sir.
Will you speak Hindi, right?
Okay, folks, today we'll have Will, our cameraman, as the interpreter.
Oh, sir, I speak English, actually.
Oh, sorry, Will, we won't be needing you. Mr., what's your name?
Oh, Rajiv Kumar Goli.
Okay, Mr. Goli. How has the bombings affected you and your family?
You know, it surely has frightened us. People don't feel safe now, especially with the rising tensions between India and Pakistan.
Wow. Well, I noticed that you refer to India as if it were a separate country. Is there any reason behind that?
Yeah, I believe that the only way to keep people in Kashmir safe is if we seceded.
Wow. Interesting point. Well, I hope you and your family find peace.
Oh, actually, all my family members were killed in the bombing.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's like... But you're okay, though.
Well, okay, so sorry, okay. God, that's... Okay. Whew. Oh, wow. Well, that there, folks, is just one of the examples of the pain, despair, and anger that has been bestowed upon the Kashmir community. Now, sadly, Mr. Goli's family has passed away, and, I feel sorry for all the, bad things that have happened to the Kashmir people. I would like everyone at home to try their best to donate to any charity as possible in order to benefit the people of Kashmir. Well, with that being said, back to you, Will.
Wow, well, we sure are lucky to have spent the day learning about such a large scale and pertinent topic when we're speaking about just like what goes on in the world.
Definitely.
Definitely something that, as we've seen, just has been stretched out over decades and decades, and has seen like a lot of different leadership. Something that unfortunately has caused a lot of division and pain between the two primary entities involved. But we will keep you updated. We'll stay involved and look forward to seeing how this conflict hopefully works itself out in the future.
Yeah, I definitely agree, Will. All right, ICCNN, that concludes today's newscast. I'm Harrison Allen.
I'm Will Kloiber.
ICCNN out.